If you're having an IBS flare right now, you don't need a lecture. You need it to stop. I get it. I lived with this for 10 years. And in this video, I'm giving you the 7 tools I wish I'd had in those moments. Everyone has clinical evidence behind it, some stronger than others. I'll rate each on a 3-star scale so you know exactly where each tool stands. This is the emergency room, not the investigation. That part comes later. And at the end, I'll tell you the single tool I'd want in your pocket above all the others. It's the smallest thing on the list. And during my worst years, it did more for me than everything else combined. Quick context first, because it makes the tools make sense. A flare hits in 3 ways: pain, gas, and bloating, and either urgency or the opposite, constipation, sometimes one, sometimes all 3 at once. These 7 tools cover every one of those. Some are universal, some are targeted. By the end, you'll know exactly which to reach for and when. But before we go any further, one thing I need to say clearly. Not every flare is a flare. If you're seeing blood in your stool, if you've been losing weight without trying, if you have a fever, if the pain is severe and won't ease, or if your symptoms are waking you up at night, that's not IBS territory. That's a conversation with your doctor. Today, with that in mind, let's start. Tool 1. Enteric-coated peppermint oil capsules. Evidence: 3 stars. Peppermint oil relaxes the smooth muscle in your gut wall. The same cramping contractions happening right now. Peppermint oil calms them. The mechanism is calcium channel blockade in the gut wall. Pharmacologically, it acts as a natural antispasmodic. A 2019 meta-analysis confirmed it beats placebo for global IBS symptoms. Major clinical guidelines now list it as a first-line option for pain, not an alternative. First line, that's why it earns 3 stars. The typical dose is 180 to 225 milligrams, taken before meals, 2 or 3 times a day. In the United States, IBGard is the most widely available brand. Other enteric-coated options exist globally under different names. One detail most people get wrong. The enteric coating isn't optional. It's the entire point. The coating keeps the oil from releasing in your stomach, where it would cause heartburn instead of helping your gut. Plain peppermint oil capsules without enteric coating will reflux upward. Always check the label. Tool 2. Antispasmodic medication. Evidence: 3 stars. This one does 2 jobs at once. It stops cramping, and it helps you pass trapped gas. Here's why. When your gut goes into spasm, it doesn't just hurt. It also traps gas behind the contraction. That's where bloating, pressure, and that heavy, stuck feeling come from. Antispasmodics relax the gut wall, break the spasm, and let the gas finally move through. The widely available options are hyoscine butyl bromide, sold as Buscopan in most countries, mebeverine across Europe and parts of Asia, and dicyclomine in the United States. OTC status varies by country. Buscopan is over-the-counter in most of Europe and Asia, but prescription only in the United States. Check your local pharmacy. They work within 15 to 30 minutes. Take one at the onset of a pain or bloating episode, or before a meal you know tends to trigger you. A 2008 meta-analysis confirmed antispasmodics are effective for global IBS symptoms. They're inexpensive, widely available, and side effects are mild. 3 stars. One important distinction though: antispasmodics manage the flare. They don't prevent the next one. They're a rescue tool, not a daily maintenance strategy. Prevention. That's what the investigation episodes are for. Tools 1 and 2 are the medications. The next 3 are something different, and they target a side of a flare that most people never address. Tool 3. Heat therapy. Evidence: 2 stars. A hot water bottle or heat pad pressed against the lower abdomen has a real effect on visceral pain. Heat activates pain-modulating receptors in the tissue and increases blood flow to the area. Clinical research on local heat and abdominal pain supports the effect. It's not a placebo. 15 to 20 minutes of gentle heat while lying on your side, knees gently drawn up, can meaningfully reduce cramping intensity. Tool 4, diaphragmatic breathing. Evidence. 2 stars. This one surprises people. Slow, deep breathing activates the vagus nerve, the main communication highway between your brain and your gut. When your nervous system is in a stress response, your gut becomes more reactive, more sensitive to pain. 5 minutes of slow breathing shifts your body out of that state. In for 4 counts, hold for 4, out for 6. Like this, in, hold, out. The research on gut-directed breathing is still developing, but the vagal mechanism is well established. It's free. It works. 2 stars. Tool 5, movement and position. Evidence, 1 star. This one is the most underused tool in the kit. A short, slow walk, 10 to 20 minutes, stimulates gut motility and helps trapped gas move through. Most people lie down during a flare. Gentle movement usually does more. If you're dizzy, lightheaded, or the pain is severe, skip the walk and use positioning instead. Lying on your left side follows the natural curve of the colon. Or, lying on your back with knees drawn toward your chest, gently rocked side to side, helps trapped gas work its way out. The direct research in IBS is thinner here, 1 star, but the mechanism is sound and clinically people feel the difference. Now, the last 2 tools are for specific symptoms. If gas, diarrhea, or constipation are dominating your flare, these are the targeted rescues. Tool 6, Simethicone. Evidence, 2 stars. Sold as Gas X in the United States and under various brand names elsewhere. It works completely differently from everything else on this list. Simethicone isn't absorbed by your body at all. It works mechanically. It breaks up small gas bubbles into larger ones that are far easier to pass. Typical dose is 125 to 250 milligrams per episode. Effects within 30 to 90 minutes. Safe to combine with anything else here. The evidence is mixed. For general gas and bloating, it's well established. For IBS specifically, the data is lighter but supportive. 2 stars. But if gas and bloating are the dominant symptom of your flare, this is the one to add. Tool 7, the subtype-specific OTC rescue. Evidence, 3 stars. This one depends on your IBS pattern. If you're in an acute flare with diarrhea and urgency, a single dose of loperamide, sold as Imodium, slows gut transit and firm stools within 1 to 2 hours. Guideline-backed for acute IBS-D symptom relief. If you're in an acute flare with constipation and you need to go, a glycerin suppository works within 15 to 30 minutes. It works locally, it doesn't get absorbed into your system, and it's gentler and faster than the oral laxatives for acute relief. Both earn 3 stars for acute use. But the caution here is the biggest one in this video. These are short-term rescue tools. If you find yourself reaching for them more than once or twice a week, that's not a flare anymore. That's a pattern. And a pattern means there's something driving it that rescue medication can't fix. That's what episodes 4 and 5 are for. Also, and this matters, if any of the red flags I mentioned earlier apply to you, do not use loperamide. Slowing a gut down when something else is going on can make it worse. So, that's the 7 tools. But an investigation takes weeks. A flare doesn't wait that long. That's why these exist. And it's also why they're not the whole answer. If diarrhea and urgency are recurring for you, episode 4 is built specifically for you. How to use loperamide strategically without becoming dependent on it. The full IBS-D travel kit. And the trigger investigation for what's actually driving it. If constipation and bloating are recurring for you, that's episode 5. Psyllium, an escalation sequence that actually works. And what to do when the suppository stops being enough. And the truth about magnesium that nobody online is telling you. And if your IBS switches between the two, diarrhea some days, constipation others. That's IBS-M. Episode 6 is built specifically for you. Which brings me to the one thing I promised at the start. If I could put one tool in your pocket right now, one universal tool that works no matter your subtype, it would be Tool 1, a blister pack of Enteric-coated peppermint oil capsules, smaller than your phone, fits in a jacket pocket, covers the most common flare symptom, cramping pain, across IBS-D, IBS-C, and IBS-M. And it has stronger evidence behind it than anything else on this list. For your specific subtype, add the Tool 7 Rescue. Together, those two tools cover most of what a flare can throw at you. For most of my 10 years with IBS, I didn't have any of this. I'd wait for the flare to pass and hope tomorrow was better. Having a plan doesn't make the flare disappear instantly, but it changes something bigger. You stop being helpless in it. You have something to do. That matters more than it sounds. If you want the full flare protocol, dose by dose, with the escalation path for pain, gas, diarrhea, and constipation, that's Chapter 14 of the IBS ROADMAP. Link in the description. The investigation of why this keeps happening starts in the episodes ahead. But today, you have a plan. You're not alone in this. Don't give up. Keep investigating.